Hello, welcome to Monty Makes. I'm Lee Montague and this is my son
Grayson.
And today we are going to be teaching you how to weave. So these workshops are to encourage textile craft for children. We recommend them from sort of school age, about four upwards. But you might need an adult to help you. You might be able to do this by yourself, but we're going to show you a small introduction today. Grayson, do you want to show everyone what you've been working on?
I've been working on this lovely weaving,
and
as you can see.
And this is one that I've been working on. So it's very simple, just going to need a few things to start weaving. You can just use an old bit of cardboard box, ideally corrugated because it's a bit stronger, but if not you could get a couple of cereal packets and glue them together.
Wrap them up.
And what else do you need, Grayson?
You need some
string,
or
some wool,
or scissors and a ruler, pencil and cardboard.
Yeah, and also just some tape here as well. And then the other thing you will need is obviously some yarn, some wool. You can even use strips of fabric. If you've got old t-shirts that are you're not able to wear, you can cut those up. So any lengths of fabric and yarn that you have would be ideal for this, really. We've used a mixture of things. So first of all, we're going to show you how to make your loom. So to start weaving in any way, you need a loom. So we're making a simple square loom.
You need to do it in the first place. You have to put the string up to...
So Grayson's just going to draw a line along the top, about a centimetre, 2 centimetres from the top, a straight line. And then we're going to set out his loom in... Oh, hang on a minute, Grayson, let's just turn that ruler around. We're going to set it out in 2 centimetre. So
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18.
And we're going to do the same at the bottom as well. So another straight line. And then where these marks are, we're going to make incisions, cuts, which is where you're going to insert your yarn to start your loom. And this will be your warp. 10, 12. We've done 2 centimetres for Grayson. You'll see on my loom I did 1 centimetre, which creates a tighter weave. So depending on your ability and your age, if you're a bit younger as well, you could go wider to make it a little bit more simpler. And then carefully with an adult, you need to safely use a pair of scissors. Put your pen down, that's it, yeah. And we're going to create cuts in each of these up to the line, all the way along.
That's so hard.
They're stiff scissors. That's it.
All the way up to the line, if you can.
Okay, so once you've cut all your marks at the top, make sure that the lines match up to the bottom.
Match up all the way to the bottom.
That's it, because our warp needs to be in a nice straight
line.
Vertical line, don't they? So now we're going to create our warp. So this is where you'll need some tape, some sellotape and some string or some yarn. So to start with, we're going to take the string to the back of the loom. Do you want to help me, Grayson? Just stick that down. Just anywhere on the back's fine. Yeah. So we're going to go up through the first cut, straight down to the first cut at the bottom.
Then all the way up to the top and again, back down, all the way to this one, all the way up to the top.
That's it, make sure they're nice and secure in the cuts. So keep going till you get to the end, and then just like the beginning, just secure on the back. And now you have a simple loom.
Yeah.
This is your warp, which is the strength of your loom and also will be the strength of your fabric. And then we're going to start weaving horizontally with our yarn and our fabric, aren't we? And that is going to create our weft. Yeah. So Grayson, if you want to pass the box. So here we've got obviously a selection of some colours of wool and bits of fabrics and things we had lying around. So Grayson is going to show you how to start weaving. So we've got this length of fabric here. I'm just going to cut it in half. It's a bit long. Okay, and then to start, Grayson.
Yeah.
So what's important is that it's very simple, but you have to concentrate. So you go under the first piece of string, under, over, under, over, under, over, and then you pull all the way, leaving yourself a little bit at the end, which we'll show you later how to weave in. And then you push that up to the top. And then what do we need to make sure, Grayson, when we come to doing the next one? We have to do the opposite of the last. So the last one went under. So now on the next row, Grayson started by going over. And then you repeat that over, under, over, 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 under, all the way to the end. And then again, so the last one there, we ended on an over. Oh, we got a spider. Over, under, and you keep going as long as you want with that piece of fabric or yarn. It's up to you with your design how deep you want to go. If you want to create stripes and patterns, we'll just keep going with this one until we run out. And then again, so that's under, so we go over, Grayson, don't we?
Oopsie.
Yeah, over, under. There we go. And do you think we might get another one in? Or do you think,
I think
we'll maybe stop? Yeah,
one.
I think we might stop because I don't think it's going to be long enough. So there you can see, and then it's up to you. You can push the fabric together and the yarn together so you can't see the warp at all. Or as part of your design, you can have it showing. It's up to you. And you'll find that the thinner the yarn you use, the less of the warp you'll see. If you use thick yarn, like I have here, you'll see the warp, and that's deliberate part of the design.
If you use thicker yarn, you won't see the warp.
This is obviously thinner, and if you push it tightly together, then you get a nice flat block of colour. Do you want to choose another yarn, Grayson? We'll just show one more. So yeah, the opposite, obviously Grayson's got just some wool here.
Red wool.
Some red wool.
It's not thick at all.
It's not very thick. And again, we're just gonna, to make it easier, I suggest you just cut a length, because you can always tie on and add, but it just gets a bit tricky if you have too much. So there we go.
Wool.
Right, so we ended on an over. So what we're going to start with, Grayson, we're going to go under. That's it. Under, over, under, over. And it's important not to make your warp too tight so that you can get your fingers underneath the string
Oh, goodness.
to pull it through. Sorry, we're doing it at an angle so you can see. Right, Grayson? Yeah.
Goodness, right.
And keep pulling. Where's the end? Hang on, Grayson, keep going a bit more. There we go. So probably with this one we'll get maybe three or 4 rows.
That's got like 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 rows, yeah.
4 rows, so it's a bit more.
So yeah, you can obviously do this and plan out what colours and how thick you want it to be, or you can just get weaving and learn and enjoy it.
Enjoy it. It's good for your breathing if you're angry.
Yeah, it's a nice relaxing thing to do, isn't it? And you can just pick it up. We've been working on these over a few days. We've just been doing a little bit at a time, haven't we, Grayson?
Yeah.
Which has been nice.
Which has been a lot. It took us a long while. Like 40 days.
It hasn't taken that long. But obviously, you can even do smaller looms. Even smaller, just small squares, make like little coasters. These we're going to turn into wall hangings for our bedrooms, aren't we, Grayson, eventually?
No, you're going to do that for the baby.
That's it, yeah. Keep going.
I think it just fit.
Right, do one more. We'll just do one more, and then we'll show you just how to tie the ends in, won't we? On once you've got these bits at the end, how you can put them in. There we go.
Probably just get one more because we got.
We'll just leave it there so we can show people how to weave it in. So as you can see here, you've got your loose end. So you can literally just go back, and if you're struggling because it is a bit fiddly, you can get an adult hat and just literally weave it.
It's not fiddly for me.
That's it. Depends, doesn't it? How big? If you're smaller, you might have smaller, and literally you can just weave it under.
I've got way bigger hands. Look at my hands.
Like that. The other thing you can do is if you can actually tie it. So this was the last one. You could tie it to the last piece, and then you can just trim it, and then again you can just tuck it in. But sometimes with these thicker yarns it is a bit harder to do that, so you might want to, I'm going to weave that in and out as well, so it just will go behind and out the way. And if you have really...
Do you want another colour?
And then yeah, what you would do next is join another colours. As you can see here, Grayson's been weaving along, and he's got a mixture. We've just got a few more ends to tie in here, and then we'll show you now how to take your loom off and make it into a wall hanging. So Grayson decided he wanted to add a fringe to his weave. So there's many ways you can do this, but this is just the simplest we think that you can do. So you choose a colour or a yarn that you want to have for your fringe, and we've cut a few here already. You just cut a load of lengths, and then we're taking three lengths, and then what we're going to do is fold them in half. But again, this might be a bit tricky, you might need an adult to help you. And then we go on to...
This is quite tricky.
It's a bit tricky for you, isn't it? So on each end of the warp where you're finished, you're going to take your loop under like so, and then you're going to put all the lengths together and twist them through the loop like that, and then you've got a knot, and you can push it up to the top.
And it makes your fringe.
It does make your fringe. Obviously we've chosen 3. You can go really thick, you can go really thin, you can add more lengths. So again, take the length in half under the...
If you're more serious, you can do it more.
You can do multicolour, it's up to you. Yeah, and then we knot it
What
and push it to the...
multicolour?
Well, you could have done one red, one blue, one purple.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
And anyway, you just keep cutting your lengths until you've got enough to do
the weaving.
There's 3 here.
It's a bit hard for me, baby.
And then you can trim it to all the same length at the end, so it's nice and neat. Or if you want it all different, you can.
Mummy's helping me.
Actually put that one on twice.
This is mine now. You could have a fringe for the baby's room.
I'm going to do a fringe on mine as well. Yeah, because I think it looks pretty, doesn't it? Finishes it off.
For the baby's room.
Yeah, the one we're doing is going to be for our new baby's bedroom. Yeah. That one, and we've got one more to do.
One more, baby.
And you can even all these out at the end, so it doesn't matter too much if they're not.
If mine's
Again,
done
folding them
after
in
the
half.
fringe, mine's done after the fringe.
It's nearly finished, yeah. Exactly. So there you see, we can. That's our fringe finish, and we'll trim that up. And now we're going to show you how to take your weave off the loom, and you can just literally tie the ends and have it as a piece of fabric. We've got a piece of wood which we're going to put at the top and tie our warp ends on so it can make a nice wall hanging. So we'll show you that now.
Wall hanging?
So what you're going to do is turn your warp over, and you're going to cut straight along the back all your warp yarns.
Oh.
Yeah, and then gently you're going to turn it over, and then gently pull all your warp yarns out the top, being careful to make sure that your weaving all stays in place. It's alright, Grayson, we're finishing it off. This is the exciting bit.
No. He's not excited.
Again, it might be something you need help with.
I get to
Finish
rip it
this
all
off.
apart.
And pulling it gently to the end.
I don't want it like this.
Well, you can do another one, can't you? That's a good thing.
Right.
Finish this one and you can do another one. You could do a bigger one if you wanted, or a smaller one.
This is sad.
Okay, now you can see we've taken our
Weave.
weave off. And what we're going to do now is with each of the warp ends, the one next to each other, we're just going to literally tie it together in a knot to secure it. So again, we're just tying the warp yarns together at the end, so one next to each other, just a double knot to secure it tightly. And you repeat that process all the way along, and we're going to trim those ends there.
Keeping it all the way along.
That's it, yeah, and then you'll start to see the last part will be that we're going to put
Hang it up.
these top yarns. That's why you make sure you cut it in half at the back so that you've got enough at the top if you want to hang it to something. So let me show you the next step. So we're now nearly finished. As you can see, we carried on tying all the fringe at the bottom and we cut it nice and, well, fairly straight. So got a nice fringe there. And then we actually had a piece of wood lying around, but you could use a stick. You could even cut a length from a bit of your cardboard, or you can just tie the ends off and make it undo a fringe the other end if you want to make it into a mat. So here we're just literally taking the two ends from the warp and then literally tying them around the back of the wood in a double knot again.
I love doing this.
Do you want to have a go at doing one, Grayson? Do a double knot?
Yeah.
We'll do the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you do it?
So you take two ends, cross them over and then push one under. Hang on a minute. So you've got two ends, you cross them like that. Have one in each hand. That's it. And then put that one underneath in between the hole. That's it. And then pull.
I learnt to do this with my jacket and I did it.
Yeah, and then again, one more. So cross over. That's it, round and through. You've got it. Perfect. And then you can just trim all the ends up.
That's quite hard.
It is quite hard learning how to do knots, but it's also a really great fine motor neuron skill, which is really important to learn. So you can just tuck these in, or you can cut them and take them off. And there you have a nice wall hanging, which, Grayson, you're going to put on your bedroom, aren't you?
Yeah.
So happy weaving, everyone. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope it's something really accessible you can try at home. And yeah, please let us know if you have a go and enjoy weaving. Bye for now.
Bye.